It's time to talk about all the challenges that we've got as younger generations, millennials and Jay Z. It's very important that we understand that the world is changing really fast. And if we really don't do anything to secure a better future, the older generations won't do anything to support and help us. It's your responsibility, my responsibility, to talk about it and share your struggles so people understand that we need to create much better policies to not only protect our generations, but also create prospects, future, and develop that policy narrative that will benefit us in the short and long term as well. If we compare our generations, millennials and Jay Z, to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, even the 90s as well, they were much better off than we are nowadays. We are facing massive disruption in terms of long term employment. For instance, the job market is scarce. They are not employing everyone, they are super selective as well. I am one of the persons that is facing this issue the most. These privileged background people, working class people will suffer as well. Because of course they can be super selective because there are less jobs and that there are way less well-paid jobs in comparison to what they used to have back in the days. Because of that, their selection process is very extensive, long interviews, long processes. They can pick from a lot of people. And of course, working class or even middle class sometimes as well. And minorities will definitely struggle to secure a well-paid job, and this is a massive problem, and also because of lack of resources that we don't have the best tools right to compete against the elite. So essentially we are behind, and every single year and every single month that we don't do anything about that, we're going to lag behind even more, because essentially they have all the tools, all the resources, and we will no longer be able to compete against them in the job market. So this is the reason why I think it's very important that we look into the job market and we find policies that will benefit the middle and the working class in terms of millennials and Jay Z. I hope you understand what I'm trying to bring up here on that debate, because youth needs to talk about it. Everyone needs to be talking more about it. Everyone should be more vocal, especially younger people. I see younger people wasting their time, literally, because we've got the power, and you, even younger than me, have got even more power as well, and more time as well, right? To vote for the right politicians and also get more involved in politics. Now, this is a critical time for millennials and Jay Z. And you see, like, the job market is tough. And a lot of, especially baby boomers, tell us that we don't want it to work. Whilst we've been applying for jobs after jobs, interview after interview, we are not able to secure anything, not because of our lack of competence, just because of that competitive edge that we are literally not on the same page of people that can invest more in their job search or put more time into it or have better technology. And all of that stuff is just sending us into poverty. So we need to find strategies and ways that we can fight back, and we can also secure more employment for the Jay Z and millennials, right? So the thing is that I wanted to bring on this agenda today is that we really have to be a lot more vocal, and we really have to find also all the issues that is impacting us. I want you to write it down. So what is making you less of a competitive person? What is making you less competitive in the job market? This is what I mean. And what is making you not secure that job, right? Is it because you don't have the right technology? Is it because you don't have the right training, the right background? Is it because you have no working experience? So this is another massive issue, because back in the days, a lot of companies were employing people without working experience. Baby boomers, most of them got a jobs like that. They didn't have to have a working experience. So right now, we are facing a situation which you're applying for jobs and they want you to have that of working experience, knowing that, and that, and that. It's not very realistic, right? That's the thing. If you're coming from a working class or middle class sometimes as well, from this privileged background as well, it's unlikely that you're gonna have all of that working experience. Why a lot of companies also employ internships, they don't pay anything. So how are you supposed to survive if you can't even get a salary when you're starting off, right? But that again is supporting the elite because the elite they don't have to work, right? So their parents can pay everything for them, housing, food, and everything else, education. So essentially, they can get the internships that we can't because we have to survive, right? So this is the thing. It really happened to me that when I just graduated, I secured two job offers, but I couldn't take it because I couldn't take an internship. I couldn't take an unpaid internship, so I had to get money, right, to pay my rent, at least pay my rent essentially. But I was not able to secure those internships because yes, they were not paid, and this is the situation. And that again is strengthening the elite, right? Because they can afford it to do that, to take those internships, which we can't. And I don't think that's fair. And then we also have to move into the cost of living crisis. This is the worst economy that we ever seen in our generation. So the only time when it was really bad like that was just in the 1950s. So which means that again, baby boomers had all that amazing journey of economic growth from the 50s up until possibly like 2009. They had it really, really good. I mean, they were able to not only get good jobs, but they also didn't pay for education, and everything was a lot cheaper. Houses were cheaper, cars, public transport, food, resources, energy, everything what you think of was cheaper, more affordable, easier to access. So they had it all, and then they still not trying to support our generations, which is outrageous. So the thing is, because of that, the so cost of living globally, by the way, we need to find policies and solutions in which we can get support, right, to get through this really hard time. So it's extremely challenging right now because everything is really expensive. For instance, tuition fees, right? And people that are in debt, they can't pay back the student fees. The government needs to look into those issues because it's very important that the government supports the younger generations. We need to find policies. We can't rely on them anymore. We need to find policies that will benefit us, even if it's related to tuition fees, which is something that's very important for you, Jay Z, especially if you have not been to university yet. We need to find solutions that will help you to have a fair and just education as well. And so affordability nowadays is a massive issue, especially housing as well. We don't really think about buying a house anymore, right? Jay Z and millennials, we just don't even think about that because we're struggling, right? So it's really tough. So that uncertainty really impacts our present moment. And this is the reason why there's so many people having mental health problems, younger generations, because I can understand you. I mean, it's almost like you just get out of your house and then there's nothing that is fair, right? There are no job opportunities that will let you develop your life and career and a family life and build a sustainable life. There is uncertainty. Everything's expensive. Interest rates are high. It's really difficult to get money if you want to start your own business. It's so tough. So I understand why a lot of people are having mental health problems. And who is the one to blame, right? This kind of government. So this is the situation. We have to make sure they don't get reelected at all costs. And to do that, we're gonna have to start a new political party. It's very important. A party that will look at our interests, the younger generations, millennials and Gen Z, kind of exclusively, because we need to focus on the younger generations to start with and then move on from that. But of course, I know this is a struggle, right? Because you cannot just think about ourselves. But this is the goal, to make sure that they're going to listen to us as well, right? We need to be priority right now because we have the future of this country. And we need to look after the youth because it's the future, right? This current government is just looking after the older generations, especially the billionaires. And so that is very self-centered, it's very destructive as well, especially for younger generations, which is the future, right? When they retire, we're gonna have to be working to pay the taxes to sustain their lifestyle, right? So this is the thing, they need to start looking at us because they need us in the future to have a sustainable life themselves as well. I hope that makes sense. It's not just dividing us against them, it's just how we can find more balance. This is what's important. And you know, this absence of policy towards our younger community is something that really worries me. And this is the reason why we have got to connect. We've got to start a political party before the next general election, which is autumn this year, I suppose. We need to create a movement, especially here in Dover locally. But of course, if more people are interested to start that all over the country, I'm happy to do that as well. We need to start this local movement because we actually needs to be more heard, right? Because right now we are struggling and it's being really, really difficult because you, as a younger person, you're not doing enough. This is the problem. You got to be registering to vote, right? You've got to get more involved in politics. You've got to do more your research and just don't listen to what the news media outlets are telling you or your parents, or just don't do that. Just follow your own instinct, right? Your situation, current situation is tough. It's challenging because they are not doing the right thing to help us to have a sustainable life. And we cannot longer listen to them. We have to create our own future, our own policies. We have to take action. We have to register to vote. We have to get involved in politics. We have to build a political party, right? So it's up to our generations to make sure that we will have a better future and we will be heard. We will have policies that will benefit our generations as well, right? So this is the goal. Get more involved in politics, register to vote. As we grasp these challenges, it becomes evident that the current policies that have been created by the current government are not designed to support our community, the millennials and Gen Z. So it's time for us to unite. It's time for us to get together. It's time for us to create policies, create a political party. And so it's time for us to fight back so you can secure a better future, not only for us, but for the younger generations that are yet to come as well.